Hey y'all, Bryant Young
and Derek Chaney
here with the Decent Dads podcast. Really excited for this episode. We had our first guest on.
Yeah, partay.
Yeah,
right?
really excited about it. Cameron Casad, one of our buddies, was on this week, and he's the veteran, like the seasoned veteran dad.
Grizzled vet over here.
Grizzled
compared
vet.
to you and I. Anyways,
Yeah, absolutely. He offered his dad joke to us, and we both missed.
Yeah.
We
swing and a miss.
Yeah. We just it was a jet stream that went right over both of our heads, and we completely missed it. And that just shows that he is a more seasoned veteran dad than we are.
Yeah, and I think part of that too was we were talking about some serious topics just because of his line of work, right?
Sure.
Being an attorney in family law there, so we was talking about some serious heavy topics there for a little bit, and then he just slides in that joke on us, and me and you are just like, oh, okay, and then he starts laughing, and we're like,
oh, we missed it.
Dang it. We totally missed that.
Yeah, completely whiffed on it. So it was great. Well, we've got a really great episode for y'all today. So episode 2. Thanks very much. Check us out on all the social media stuff, and hey, Decent Dads podcast. Here we go. Good evening, folks, and welcome back to the Decent Dads podcast. We're called the Decent Dads because we're just okay. We're here to tell dad jokes, drink coffee, and build a community of dads navigating the trials and tribulations of fatherhood together. My name's Bryant Young, fearless leader, co-host, girl dad, and your friendly local insurance agent based out of Springfield, Missouri. And now, before we get started on today's episode, please help me welcome. He's a 6'3" sophomore, shooting guard from small town Missouri. He wishes he was a first-team All-American, but instead he's the coolest co-host with the most, a fantastic father of 2, the home loan expert. Folks, put your hands together and welcome the incomparable Mr. Derek Chaney. How are you, Derek?
Doing good, Bryant. Thanks again for the introduction there.
It's getting worse. It's not getting better. It's round 2 and it still sucks. It's still not very good. I think I hate it.
I think we're just kind of knocking the rust off. After that first episode.
But the joke, that's his 5th take.
Yeah, but we'll get there.
I wish that were true. Hey, who do we have with us here today?
Well, that's what I'm excited about. We have our first guest on the podcast.
What's up, Cam?
So, I feel like we should be popping bottles of champagne, confetti falling from the
coffee.
ceiling.
We're having
coffee. We have Cam with us today. And so Cam, I think I've known you for probably a couple months now through Rotary. I think Brian's known you a little bit longer.
Yeah, closer to 10 years, more or less.
10 years. Wow.
2000. When were you guys before you left? Like
2013, 14. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's math. I was told there was no math.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
we actually had him sign a piece of paper that said I won't have to do math. So sorry, bud.
But so Cameron, introduce yourself a little bit to us, to the audience. Tell us what you do. Give us your dad resume. How many kids you got? What are their ages?
Sure.
Which one's your favorite? Go from there.
Yeah. All right. Well, so Cameron Casad, Cam. Dad resume. I have 2 children.
Putting you on the spot. There you go.
One is I have 3, and I could say half-ish. She's born in June, just turned 3 this past year, and girl. And then my son is just turned 1 this past March, and then number 3 coming in February.
Yeah, baby.
Nice.
Round 3.
Congrats.
Yeah. So, and then on my work days, I spend my time doing some lawyer stuff, helping some parents, doing some family law. So get the whole kind of gambit of the dad cycle there. So.
Yeah, he is the ultimate dad aficionado in all things. Plus, his son has got the best haircut I've ever seen.
Yeah, he got a fresh haircut.
Is that his first haircut?
Technically, so he's had 2.5 haircuts. So
Gonna need to know more about that, bud. Sorry.
Story.
My wife decides that he needs a haircut, which he did. This was probably 8 months ago, and she couldn't get anywhere that was recommended. So no free ads, I'm assuming, but took him to a Supercuts.
Nice.
and it did not go well.
Well, there goes Supercuts as a sponsor. Way to go, Cameron.
Yeah, so sorry, Supercuts. You're out.
You suck.
You did a bad job.
You suck.
So took him to a local place here in Springfield, the old Brentwood Barbershop.
Oh, yeah.
They did him up, did him right.
That place is awesome.
Yeah. So he just went back there for a second time. So that's the 2.5 haircuts.
Yeah, man. Little 1 and change year old with a fade is awesome.
Yeah, I'm wearing a hat and the hat's going to stay on, but
His son's rocking the hair while he's got it.
but yeah. So I was told that was the classic boys haircut.
Been a long time since you had one of those, Cameron.
Yeah, I rocked the flat top at like 10.
Attaboy. That's what I want to hear.
Wow.
That's what I want to hear.
True
Can,
story.
can,
really?
can we see some pictures of it?
Oh,
Like,
God, I need to know more.
Not on my phone currently.
Yeah. All gone.
no.
Not here.
Listen, my mom will happily start texting you. It's fine.
I'm sure she will. I love that. That's hilarious. So yeah, Cameron, we've had a bunch of coffee together over the last several years, and we're glad you and the Weef are back in town. So we've started doing a bunch of we're going to ask a bunch of the same questions in every episode, and one of my favorite ones is Tantrum of the Week, because inevitably, whether your kid is 1 or 21, they're probably still throwing some kind of tantrum. The tantrum just kind of tends to change a little bit. Derek and I talked about this during lunch day. He's like, well, what if we have somebody on who's got older kids? And I was like, 16-year-olds still bitch. Like, it doesn't change. Like, that doesn't go away. So inevitably, everybody's going to have those. Like Elsie, our tantrum this week, Elsie still doesn't want to get clipped in to the high chair. We'll sit in it and just be fine, like really great, but then screams her brains out the second just a small piece of plastic is clipped around her stomach. So that's it. But instead, I'm going to say our tantrum of the week here at our house was that apparently I'm the only one that likes to sleep when it's cool in the house. It's almost like I'm an adult and I can pull blankets up around me, and the toddler in the house does not know that pulling blankets over her will keep her warm. And I sleep with the window open, so it apparently got cold in the house last night, and Elsie started screaming at us about it at 1:30 in the morning. I just can't. I don't understand how you don't like to sleep with a big blanket on, but it's almost like a toddler needs a blanket wrapped around her, or one of those little zip-in things. So that was ordered this morning at about 5 o'clock in the morning. We ordered one of those like little zip-in blanket wrap things, sleeping bag things, because I'll close the window, I guess, but like, I really want to sleep in the cold, and at 1 o'clock in the morning, she disagreed with us, and I got to take care of her because of it. So, do you have any tantrums this week? Anything good?
Yeah, well, I feel like you're always number one going to lose that battle here. So, good luck with that in the future.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Let's see. So, this morning, I solo parented for the early morning routine, and today was, of course, picture day.
Oh yeah,
meaning that
perfect day to solo parent.
Yeah, great day.
Did she set the clothes out for you before she left?
Oh, the clothes were set out the night before.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, and normally if I'm dressing the Merritt, our 3.5-year-old, she's not really 3.5, but anyway,
6'1".
3.5-ish.
Yeah.
If I'm getting dressed in the morning, all right, it's a quick weather check. Pants, shirt, out the door.
Yeah.
Jacket.
Do we need a
See you
jacket?
later.
Let's run.
Not so on picture day. And of course, I didn't have options. It was this dress, these pair of tights.
Sure.
Yep.
No matter what.
I did get some options on the shoes, thankfully. But that was 5-10 minute meltdown over I don't want to wear those tights. And I'm like, we're both out of luck here. Chick. Like,
Listen, sister, I don't know what to tell you. I also don't get to pick this outfit.
Yeah, you got to wear that, and I got to put you in it.
Whether you
don't
like it or
have to
not.
wear the bow right now.
Just make sure the teacher puts it on you before they snap the picture.
Yeah,
please.
Yeah, so that was dropped her off. Said, teacher, there's a bow in there. Let's be honest, I wasn't going to do a good job putting it in her hair anyway.
If you could please help.
That's true.
So you handle that. You handle that. Yeah.
Do you have one?
I'd be in the same boat as you with the bow. I'd be like, nope. It's funny. I feel like we all three had a pretty similar tantrum today. I had one.
Forget of the week. It's just today. Tantrum of today.
Yeah. What's your tantrum today?
You don't have to reach pretty far in the memory
No.
bank there.
I mean,
it's unbelievable. No, you really don't.
We had 2 meltdowns today. The first was, it's been cold here the last couple of days, so we're getting ready for school, and got t-shirt, got pants, shoes on. We're good. And so I'm like, well, bud, it's like 20 degrees outside. We should probably put a coat on. Sure, that makes sense, right? Well, it doesn't make sense to a 2.5-year-old. No. Try to put it on, and I'm literally having to wrestle him and just get it on, and then you get it on, and he thinks his world's ending. So that's one. And then when I came home from work today, kind of like you were saying this morning, I was single parenting. My wife had to go to meetings, and little ones already ate dinner, so I came home. I'm eating dinner, and I put on a movie for them to watch so I can eat dinner. And my oldest one just starts losing his shit because I'm not watching Minions with him. I'm trying to eat my dinner in peace, and he just melts down on me and starts going crazy. So yeah, it is a good day. 2 tantrums. It could be worse.
Yeah, I will say my kids were a dream tonight. I'm not sure what happened.
It's because mom was home.
No, mom was she was home, but she was doing some meetings too, and
Sure.
So it's kind of solo parenting tonight too, and absolute dreams.
We need some of your dad's secrets.
Teach us your ways.
So the 3 and change, literally, I think she knew I was coming on this podcast today because she wanted to cuddle up on the couch and look at pictures of baby Merritt.
Oh, sister.
So that was a good day.
That's pretty fun.
Yeah. It made up for the tantrum. I'd already told her no treats tonight, but she almost got them.
Yeah, What's the go-to treat in your house? Is it candy, or what are we talking here?
Ooh, so when we potty trained her and did do that.
Okay, yeah, I'm into this.
When she went to school, she had access to school, so she had to go 5 days at school without an accident, and she got Andes. So Andes is the big treat. It's the big treat.
Nice. He's working on
can't
potty
go
training
wrong.
too. So
Yeah, I think we're on like week 3 of it, and it's getting better.
I think coffee is the answer. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
for the kid or for you?
Yeah.
Coffee.
Coffee is the answer.
Lots of coffee
Air
after
quotes.
the child goes down to sleep. No doubt about that.
So Andy's could be considered a dad hack for you, but what like dad hack, dad vice do you have? You said you've got one on the way. You've already got a couple. You're, kind of the kung fu dad master.
Grizzled vet.
Yeah, grizzled vet. Yeah, sure. What kind of advice or dad hack would you offer to like either new dads or dads in waiting? That's not what it is. Expecting dads, that's better. Expecting father. Dad in waiting is a whole different thing, I think. But
Aren't we all?
what's your dad hack for like a new dad?
And Derek, remind me again, your oldest is
2.5.
Less than 2.5. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So, man, does that make me the quote unquote veteran?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're the vet
yeah.
for sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
And I'm the puppy in all things, even though
Just wait till potty training is the real.
Oh my God,
the real
I'm not
kicker.
looking forward to it.
It's a tester.
Just
No doubt about
imagine
that.
no more diapers.
Oh, that I am excited about. Derek and I talked about in the first episode, like the things that surprised us the most about being a dad, and I forgot to tell you one. It was how often I was going to deal with another person's shit, and I understood that I was going to change diapers, but I didn't realize that it was going to be on my clothes and on my hands and on my, picking it out of my beard and like
how used you get to it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Yeah,
weird.
yeah.
And
It's weird.
just to be clear, when they're potty trained, you still deal with their shit.
And I think that's more what I was driving at. It's like, man, you're still dealing with that stuff, huh? It's not like it doesn't go away. It just changes.
You got some toilet paper between you, so it's less direct contact. But yeah, no, you better wipe your kid's ass.
Yeah. Don't need that itch happening at all.
Yeah, no.
Dad hacks. What do you got?
All right, so number one, dad advice to any brand new dad. So no other kids, no other responsibilities. When the baby cannot move, leave the house as much as possible.
Oh yeah.
Big believer that
I love that. Yeah, that's
you and
good.
the wife got to stay happy.
Sure.
Get out, go have a cocktail at happy hour. Kid's not going to go anywhere.
That's
You're
good,
either
Cameron.
asleep or you're feeding them, and you can go home later. Yeah. So somebody gave us that advice.
That's great.
Yeah,
with our first and did not take advantage enough. So that's one I passed down to everyone.
What the hell? Where was that? I needed that.
Love
God,
that
I didn't think about that.
You said that, yeah, because I know like when we had our first, and he was in that non-moving stage, I guess, first 6 months or so. Yeah, we were so scared to take him out places, and I'm not really sure why, because all they do is sleep and eat. Sure. And then it's like with our second though, like totally took advantage of it when we could. We're like, oh, he's not going anywhere. This is the easy stage when we thought it was the hard stage, right? So, hammer that home to every new dad you can is take advantage of their non-moving stage.
Oh, absolutely.
Sure. God, well, and I just had the thought though. Elsie was in the non-moving stage like in the middle of the pandemic.
Yep.
So I wish I had that advice or the kid either 2 years earlier or like right now, so that I could actually apply that.
Yeah,
because I love that.
I have one pandemic baby and one non-pandemic baby.
Sure.
So, granted, I'm curious. We already had one when we had the pandemic baby.
Sure.
So, but yeah, like we couldn't go as many places.
Sure.
But yeah, you still have to. Even it's like going to other people's homes during the pandemic.
Oh, we went and like had dinner in the park. And would just set up in the back of like the Jeep and would just back the Jeep up. We weren't even going to go into the park because the kid couldn't go anywhere. So we just set her set Elsie in the back of the car with us and just kind of watched her. Because what the hell else do you do when you're new parents other than just like stare at your child, because it's the coolest thing that's ever happened to you. So yeah, I really like that one. That's, damn it, I'm envious. Why didn't I think of that? That's really good. What do you have any other ones that you like?
Ooh. Let me think here. I would say pick a plan that works for you in terms of, how aggressive you want to be with sleep training.
Sure.
I would vote as aggressive as possible because sleep's very important. But, the biggest thing is always just consistency and being on the same page as your partner.
Sure. Yeah, that's good.
Two biggest things for sure.
Yeah, that makes sense. What about, so you and I were talking at the bonfire we went to the other day about packing a dad bag and because you had the kids, you had both of them out of the house at a bonfire with a bunch of other kids. I had never been more like jealous of a dad's like dad prowess than I was of you that night, where it was like, holy shit, Cameron's just got his stuff together and he's got both kids just running around hanging out at the party.
Well, here's the thing is if you know there are going to be older kids at an event,
pawn them off.
You pawn them off, baby.
Oh.
That's a good idea.
And if it's an event with a lot of, I hate to stereotype and be a little biased, but if it's an event with a lot of women and you got cute kids like we all do, I don't know about you guys, but
your kids are cute. Yeah. We all did good.
You can pawn them off.
Yeah.
And you could finish your coffee with a little bit of peace. And then they all want hot dogs and food and it becomes a big mess. But
well, I like the idea. It's like you had the shoulder strappy bag on and stuff, and I was like, man, what do you have in there? It looks like you've got all kinds of important stuff. Like, I've got one diaper, maybe wipes, and probably a snack or two. I was like, yeah, that's all you really need.
That's all you really need.
Diapers,
Especially
wipes, snacks.
As soon as you don't have to start carrying formula or breast milk around with you, it's just bare essentials. You know what? Like, and if it's not cold outside, the kid can go home in a diaper. They don't need pants.
Yeah. Accurate. Truth.
Yeah.
We packed 4 jackets to go to that party. 2 blankets.
You're still an only child parent.
Holy crap. It was so much stuff. It was ridiculous. Just absolutely ridiculous.
Once you have multiple kids, you pack a lot less.
It's not, you pack less for more kids.
Less for more. It's probably the same amount of crap, but just not as much for that one kid.
Well, and for me, I pack less. And that's where I'm going to leave that statement, is I pack less. There's some other people, I'm pointing at Livy upstairs, that like to pack all of the things. And frankly, there have been several times where we have had our asses saved by Liv's packing, so I really don't get to talk too much shit, because inevitably, like to your point, if you don't pack it, that's exactly what they're going to want.
Yep.
At least to some extent. And it's like, Elsie wants the little teddy bear fox thing or whatever that we've got. Yeah.
Well,
so.
Yeah. The key word here is avoid the shit from your missus And your kids.
Yeah, all of the above. Yeah. Just avoid shit
little-
like the plague, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, a little harder to avoid it from the kids. But speaking of shit, Cam, for
What a transition.
for work, for work, I know you said you do family law, so I'm sure you worked with some really good dads, had some great stories with that, but I'm sure you worked with some really shitty dads too, and have some probably even better stories on that. So do you have any like good stories that you can share with us, the good and the bad?
Tell us about your work at Legal Services of Southwest Mo.
Let's see. How to say this without being super depressing.
Yeah, fair.
Ugh.
Yeah, fair.
Hey, we'll end on a high note too. So
Okay.
Yeah, don't worry. This won't be the
that.
end of
All
the
right.
conversation.
Okay, good,
we
good,
won't
good,
kill
good.
it there.
All right. Well, so I just had a case where if you take anything away, don't do meth. Number one story: don't do the methamphetamine. It's bad for you. So
Welcome to the Ozarks.
bad for your teeth too. So
yeah, not good for your teeth. Not good for your
Really not good
mental
for the
health.
body, I think. I don't think it's good for anything.
A lot of parts of the body. Not good for your dad life. There.
Yeah, also not good there. Yeah.
that's not a decent.
So wait,
dad.
hold on.
Yeah.
I got to write this down. So
Yeah, write that down. Don't do meth.
Got it. Okay.
I feel like we should have another poster.
Yeah. We'll get
Don't
rid of
do
this.
meth.
We'll
Yeah.
put that.
Yeah.
That'll be our slogan.
I know
right below
that
the
the
New
Tiger
Balances.
King made it cool for a little bit there.
Hey,
Speaking of the pandemic,
great. That was a great show.
God.
Came out at the perfect time.
it really did.
Like,
that and the Burt Kreischer special, they both came out right before the
yeah.
pandemic came out. I was like,
Perfect.
yeah, this is what I needed in my life. It's
Perfect.
just something
Yeah.
to watch.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So had a recent case, college grad, teenage kids. I think he'd gotten the meth a little bit before they were teenagers. And then the kids came into foster care. About 2 years later, he sobers up through a lot of hard work and all that sort of stuff. And we're looking at placing the kids back next week.
That's awesome.
Unfortunately, I represent the mother in that situation, but kudos to the dad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's got to be. You can still root for people's improvement, even if they had a big downfall before they improved.
Yeah.
Like that kind of positive momentum is a good thing, even though they've started out in a real shit spot. Like I hate that. That's terrible. God. So good stories. Have you dealt with any just real? I mean, I assume that you. Tell us a little bit about what legal services does, because you guys help provide legal services for folks that either can't afford it, or some of it's court appointed as well, or how does that work?
Yeah, so we have basically, to qualify for us, that you have to qualify somehow. So based on income, based on age brackets, if you're a victim of domestic violence, I've represented men and women that fall into that category.
Sure.
And then we have a contract with Greene County where we'll provide representation for parents whose kids are in foster care. So,
Got it. Okay.
I think I have 50 active cases that fall into that category right now.
Holy crap.
So yeah, it's a lot of that stuff is how we have some of these cases, and where I get a lot of the crazy bad dad stories.
Do you go home at the end of the day thinking hey, you know what? I'm not a half bad dad.
There are definitely days when you go, all right, I didn't do any meth today. I'm winning.
It was a good day.
It was a good day. Way to go, me. That's wild. Well, because we've all dealt with either professionally or just people that we've interacted with in our lives or people we went to school with that are just kind of shitheads, and that's just part of it, and that's a fact of life. And so sometimes people, either they start out in bad circumstances or they end up in bad circumstances, and if they can find their way out of it, that's obviously a positive. But there's a special place in hell for shitty parents.
And I would say a lot of those folks aren't necessarily bad parents, right? If they're with their kids, they do a great job, they're attentive, all that kind of stuff. Obviously, I have clients that are more on the abusive side, and you try to fix that, but the when it's just purely substance abuse stuff, and they're good parents otherwise, that's the sad stuff.
Oh, for sure. So I guess the moral of the story here is that don't do meth. I think that's one of the target things that we've talked about. While we're talking about meth, we just had to pause the camera to restart it to make sure that we didn't just start talking to an empty screen, and that nice little camera over there wasn't just sitting. We were talking about our favorite drinking out of utensil and or like koozie or whatever. And I couldn't help myself but think, why are we talking about the most dad thing ever, but we don't have the camera rolling? And so I stopped you both from talking. I was like, wait. Let's talk about this, but turn the camera back on. So leather lined, but with a golf cart on it, beer koozie is option A.
How well does that work?
Oh, not very well at all.
Okay.
No. But if you really need a koozie for your beer, you're not drinking your beer fast enough, right?
Completely agree.
Completely
agree.
Even like on a hot summer day, that's why I love the Yeti, the metal ones. Doesn't matter if it's 100 degrees outside or not. That puppy will stay cold for.
Oh, now I can get
20
behind that
minutes.
if you're drinking if you're pouring three iced coffees into a Yeti and going to drink all three of them. Like I understand that you might want to take your time.
No.
with
I'm not
it.
talking about the Yeti cups. I'm talking about the Yeti koozies that you fit your beer can.
Oh, you don't have one of these?
I don't have one for one, but I'm thinking about the big giant 24 ounce that I drink my iced coffees out of.
Totally different. No,
Got it.
I'm talking about the little the ones that you screw in the tops. Put the can in, screw in the top or the bottom.
Okay, fair enough.
Those are phenomenal.
Two big knocks on the Yeti koozie, though. One, you can't tell if your beverage is full or empty.
True.
Two,
I can get behind that. Sure.
It does not fit in the cup holder of a golf cart.
Oh well, then that's sacrilege. Then it's out.
So
then it's automatically
really
out.
need to rethink their design.
See, I'd be afraid I'd lose my Yeti koozie. So I always bring like the cheap koozies.
Yeah. Derek doesn't leave the house with any of his nice stuff.
Yeah,
like
my
it
nice
only
stuff,
stays at home.
It stays home. That's why I keep it around.
I get
it stays around.
So,
Which I'm really disappointed though, because if you ever need your drink to actually stay cold for a long time, it is on the golf course. Because I take 2 shots per shot.
yeah.
And so you're away from your beverage for a while. But if it doesn't fit in the dadgum cup holder,
Yeah. Oh, it's a real problem for sure.
it's a spillage issue.
Well, and now more than ever, the having a fast drink is very important now that I have a kid, because it means that it's that much more of an opportunity for her to spill it. Spilled drinks are the bane of my existence in this house.
Had some of those tonight,
Dude, we bought a nice we bought a new couch when we moved into this house, and we were all really excited about it. Elsie was 4 months old. I'm sitting just like kind of in it's a sectional kind of thing, kind of cloud couch, kind of not, and I'm sitting in like the corner of it, and I'm sitting back, and Elsie's sitting next to me, and I've just got a coffee cup. Just a regular old coffee cup, and I'm holding it, and she's eyeballing me, and she reaches up and just kind of goes and just punches the cup, and it is a light-colored couch, and I was scrubbing coffee out of that couch for days because it was Elsie's fault, but I had to take the blame because it's kind of hard to blame a 4-month-old.
She doesn't know any better.
Well, no, she did. She knew what she was doing. Whether she actually did or didn't, she knew what she was doing. She's
Still blaming her.
Yeah,
Though
no,
it's my
100%.
fault. It's my fault. I'm blaming
It's that
her.
baby. Yeah, no, the baby did it. I didn't do it.
Yeah, we have a lot of chemicals on our white couch. We have a white
Yeah,
couch.
you guys do have a white couch, and it's the same kind of deal where it's like that cloud couch thing where it's like
Yeah, we have a
it's
lot of chemicals on that thing.
Oh god. Yeah.
Is it still white?
There's definitely
Ish.
a spot where it's the most traffic spot. It's
Sure.
definitely the highest risk for spillage spot on the couch. And, it might need some more chemicals, but, But it's been 2 days since I've had hot coffee spilled on me by my child.
That a boy.
Yeah, so we're doing good.
As
We're
the
doing
king of spilled coffee, I'm proud of you.
good. You are
2
the king.
full days.
You are the king, yeah.
There was for some context, there was like a month period there where I spilled coffee on myself
Every other day?
6 or 7 times in like a 3-week period.
Without Elsie's help.
Yeah, without Elsie's help. It was just me. I think the baristas in Springfield are conspiring against me.
Yeah.
There were like 3
I
of them
heard
that didn't put the lids on right.
That was a topic at their monthly meeting.
They're conspiring against the insurance agents of Springfield, and or just me, but whatever.
We put a hit out to every coffee shop on Sunshine.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, thanks everybody. Really appreciate that. So we were talking about sitting on couches and stuff. I talk a big game about how I'm going to be the best dad in the world, and I'm going to have all these like principles, and I'm not going to do this, and I'm not going to do that, and I am going to do this. One of the things that I was hell-bent that I was not going to do was entertain my child with screens.
Mm-hmm.
Be that TV dad, be that like screens, phone, YouTube, whatever it is, dad. I'm ashamed. Actually, I'm not ashamed to admit that I folded on that faster than a guy holding the worst poker hand in the world. Like I folded like a table at church. Getting ready for the church dinner, the table folds up. Like that was the worst analogy ever.
Yeah, I still
what in the world was that?
I'm still trying to like, think through that analogy, and I don't get it.
Jesus. Let's just, act like that didn't happen. Hey, people on the internet, you didn't hear that at all. I folded bad on that one.
Uh-huh.
I think Bluey is the greatest television show ever made for adults or otherwise. Yeah. And I have learned more from that little cartoon dog dad than I think I have from any of the books I read before Elsie got here, or like any of the like dad TikTok accounts or dad YouTube videos or any of that stuff. I've learned more from a little like brown cartoon dad dog.
Yeah, Mr. Healer.
Mr. Healer. Boy, got the name and everything. So, do you guys have like a go-to show? You mentioned Minions earlier. Is that like Liam's go-to? What he wants to watch? What does Liam want to watch?
Yeah, Liam, man, he goes in spurts, and it's not really shows; it's more movies. So right now.
Ooh, that's clutch though, to be able to go full feature-length movie.
Oh yeah,
he's ready for it already.
2.5 hours.
Yeah. I mean, he won't sit there and watch the whole time. Like, I mean, he'll watch it for 20 minutes, do something, then watch it for another 20 minutes. But yeah, right now it's Minions. Loves it. He thinks they're hilarious, and then right here pretty soon he'll transition to like Incredibles.
Okay.
And then
great freaking movie, man.
then he'll transition to
Mrs. Incredible
to Trolls, and it's just a cycle. Those three series.
Oh, so they just continue.
Yeah. I mean, he'll watch.
This is the transition he's already been on.
Yeah.
So you don't have this. No. You don't have this set out for him.
No. This is like cycle probably like 4 or 5.
Okay.
We've gone through this.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, because he'll watch him for like 2 months straight, and then all of a sudden he's like, no, I don't want to watch that. I want to watch.
Yeah.
I want to watch Jack, which is what he calls Incredibles. Because I think he thinks he's like Jack in that movie.
He identifies with that little terrible monster baby.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what he does. I mean, really, shows wise, Blippi was probably one of the shows that he really got into. If I had to think of like a show,
we knock on wood.
I'm so glad
oh
that
my
is
gosh,
not in
like,
our house.
Wood, yeah.
At first, I was like, this guy is such a dork, Blippi himself.
Sure.
Then you look up his net worth, and I'm like, man,
dude's.
This guy, he's way smarter than I am. I'm so jealous and envious of.
Yeah, we're in the.
So then they started a podcast.
Yeah.
So now we're trying to really cash in on that dad money.
The secret behind the podcast.
Yeah, exactly. We're trying to get that Blippi money. Hey, Blippi, call us, please. Do you guys have go-to stuff for like Merritt?
Oh, so it's funny you mentioned Bluey and Minions. So we watched Minions. She's kind of like within the last, I'd say, like 5 months, we got into full-length film. We did the whole Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. The whole Mickey Mouse roster of
that's not
animated
something
videos.
I've ever looked at. I'm sure Elsie's gonna go down that route. She's already got a Minnie Mouse toy.
The Clubhouse.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
She's 16 months old. We've got an inevitable.
You're on the edge.
We got just an inordinate amount of time.
So
left.
is she doing any screen time yet?
A little bit. So
number one, Merritt knows that if she really wants to watch TV, the way to do it is to ask for Bluey. Because Bluey is the best.
Dude, it's the greatest. It's the greatest.
Yeah.
It's the funniest.
And a quick callback. Derek, before we went on live, was talking about he needs a dad shirt. I have seen the shirt. I don't own it. It's on the list of, like, be a good purchase. It's a, like, something to the effect of just living up to this guy, the best dad ever. And it's Bluey's dad.
I'll Amazon that tonight.
Yeah, you need to get on that, like,
I am into that.
Tonight, yeah.
So Elsie does do some screen time stuff. I'm not, again, I thought I was going to be that, like, cool, hip granola dad.
I bet she's had McDonald's, too.
Oh, dude, the first food she had was icing off of a piece of cake. I dipped my finger in and then poked it in her mouth, and she was like, oh, this is the greatest shit ever, except she didn't have words. So I brought all of that up because I love Bluey. I'm not ashamed to admit how much I fucking love that show. It's awesome.
Great show.
And it's one of those things where I don't mind watching it with Elsie. It's kind of like some of the cartoons of like the 90s where they hid adult jokes in like kid cartoons. They've got a little bit of that in Bluey too, which I kind of love. But what prompted this whole thing was, are you familiar with Miss Rachel or Songs for Littles? Are you familiar with this god awful but also the greatest thing ever phenomenon?
No, I'm just a big just Spotify search for kid songs. And figure out what happened. So
there's
this is how we got here. Or,
kind of.
Okay.
So kind of. There's this woman. She's called Miss Rachel, and her YouTube channel. And I had to go make sure and write it down because I was not familiar with it. Songs for Littles, and it's this woman who has this. I hate baby talk. Hate it. I hate the ooh, goo, goo, gaga. Oh my God, you're so cute. That kind of like baby talk drives me insane. But this woman speaks like an elementary school teacher. She speaks like a daycare teacher. She's like this very sweet and now we're gonna, they do a bunch of like singing videos and stuff where she's singing little nursery rhymes to them. And, oh, look at the animal. Yay, it's a cat. Oh my gosh, the cat. Elsie is locked in. I mean, just locked in on it. And it's this woman. They zoom in on your mouth because she's trying to start speaking. And so they'll zoom in on her mouth and she's saying, cat. And she's like doing these little symbols and stuff about like, okay, now spread the mouth here. Now put the T down on your teeth. And it's hilarious. But I've seen a lot of people online talk about how it's like, it's the best. My kid is speaking in full sentences. My kid recognizes shapes. My kid recognizes letters and numbers, all from this woman and her program. So Elsie watches it a lot. And it's kind of embarrassing, but it's also not, because at the end of the day, it's educational stuff, at least to some extent.
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel that bad about it, but I definitely was like that granola guy where it's like, my kid's not going to need a screen because I'm so entertaining. Turns out I just think I'm entertaining. Elsie could not give less of a shit. Like, does not care.
No. And I think word exposure is probably the number one thing, right? Like just like hearing words.
No, 100%.
More and more. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and it's trying to read and do all that stuff. But I also think what she does helps with like pronunciation, because she's doing a lot of like at, trying to teach you how to say cat. You guys both have kids that can speak way more than Elsie can, so you have way more experience with this than I do. Do you guys have any like funny, because I know a lot of parents probably have these stories, and so basically I'm just trying to mine you guys for funny stories, but like I assume that your kids have said something either inappropriate that they picked up from you or mispronouncing a word. Yeah, Cameron, you're a saint. Yeah, you're a saint.
Definitely
I know your kid would never have done that. Yeah. That's sure Ashley's. Yeah, that's all Ashley's fault for sure. Have they said anything at the wrong place, said the wrong word at the wrong time, mispronounced stuff? Like, do you guys have, because I don't have any stories about that kind of stuff yet, because Elsie basically just repeats what I say.
Your oldest is the perfect age to start asking this question of like, what's the funniest
Yeah,
for sure.
Your son has said.
So there's a few that come to mind. The first one though, probably the best one, is like a few months ago. And so my oldest, he's really particular. Like, he needs his stuff. His stuff has to be like in the right spots and whatnot. So like when we're
perfectionist dad.
Yeah. Well, I know. Like, it is funny. I didn't really realize like I was kind of OCD until my child's OCD, and I'm like, man, where's he get this from? Oh, it's me.
Isn't that that's the worst part about parenting?
Yeah, right.
It's like, they pick up all the things I do, everything I do, they're gonna pick it up.
My little mirror image down here. Like, gosh.
Oh, I know where they get that annoying trait.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Great.
But yeah, so yeah, we're when we eat, he has to have his utensils, right? So forks, spoons, whatnot, and when he's learning to say fork, yeah, it was great. He would say, fuck, I need my fuck, and like at first I'm like, wait, what? He's like, Dad, I need my fuck, and I'm like, oh, I think I know what you're saying. He's like, Dad, fuck. fuck, dada, fuck. And I'm like, and me and Allie just look at each other. We're like, okay, we know what he wants.
Do you try not to laugh at that then? At that point, like try not to laugh at him because
like,
he's going to get frustrated?
Well, that's the funny part is you can't help but laugh.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, 100%.
Right? Like, I mean, me and Allie are just like basically all but rolling on the ground at this point. And but he's getting frustrated.
Sure.
Because he's like, guys, I need my fuck. Like, come on. And so, finally we give it to him and it's all good. But man, there was like, it was probably like a 2-month period there. Sorry, edit that out.
Sorry, microphone.
There's probably a 2-month period there where like that's how he said fork. Now it's fine. He says fork perfectly fine.
Did he do that like in front of your parents or the preacher or anything like that? Hopefully,
like anywhere we ate, which I mean, which was either our house or with family. Yeah,
sure.
Like my parents, grandparents, whoever, and yeah, he would tell everybody he needs his fuck.
Me too, buddy. I feel your pain. Yeah, I totally get it.
He's got a better chance.
Yeah.
He's definitely
No comment.
And man, this next one, gosh, that's funny. That really leads right into this next one too.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, just Bryant, be ready because your kid is gonna say something that sounds like fuck.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
So my kid, there's the Dr. Seuss book called Fox in Socks.
Oh
That's
no.
a tough one. Those books are
Oh
tougher.
no.
Oh, it's the whole book is tongue twisters.
Yeah.
The whole book
Sure,
is tongue twisters. But she could probably say it now, but at 2.5, so a year to 6 months ago, somewhere in that range, it was, I want to read fucking sucks. Thankfully, we're not reading.
That's a great book. Great book.
Fucking Sucks is the greatest name for a book. That's somebody needs to rewrite some Dr. Seuss books,
the adult
but
version.
just all like that.
Oh my gosh, that would be.
What's the Samuel L. Jackson thing? Go the fuck to sleep. Have you heard that recording? Somebody wrote a book that is Go the fuck to sleep, and then they got Samuel L. to record it, and it's just Samuel L. being Samuel L. Go the fuck to sleep. That's my Samuel L. impression. Can you tell?
Yeah, spot on.
Yeah, I think you should work on that. I think you should write it.
Yeah, we'll
fucking
have
Sucks book.
Fucking Sucks. Where's my fuck? Or where's my fuck? This fucking sucks.
Where's my fuck? That
fuck.
fucking sucks. Where's my fuck? So you were saying?
Yeah, not really that he. This other one, not really that he like mispronounced the word. He just extremely shortened it. And so I don't remember. Gosh, I wish I could remember the book. But it was some like Under the Sea book, and so we're reading it. We didn't even know that he knew what an octopus was. And this octopus pops up.
Oh no!
And so we're reading it. We're not really paying attention to the pictures of it. Me or Allie, whoever's just reading it to octopus right here. And he's like, "Puss, mama, puss." And for dad, they think that's funny. For a mom, that's like
that is the worst thing in the world.
The worst thing in the world. Like her, Allie's face just turned white, and she's like, "What did you say?" It's like, "Puss, mama, puss," and just like. So again, I'm just rolling on the ground because it's hilarious. And it's just like the three of us. It's not like anybody else is there, and Allie's like all embarrassed and like can't, like she's just like almost upset. Like she's so embarrassed, and and he would say that like for a reason an octopus was his favorite animal. There
Perfect.
For about a month.
A puss is his favorite animal. I got it. Yeah.
Animal. So
you're gonna be chasing that puss the rest of his life.
Gosh,
Yes, he will.
my child was a very inappropriate child there because like all this is happening like the same amount of time. Oh, I guess their brains are changing a lot there.
Oh yeah,
they're
go figure.
All at the same time. But yeah,
if that embarrasses Allie, you've got two of them and they're little boys.
Oh yeah,
it's only gonna get worse.
Oh yeah.
I can't wait to hear her reaction to the rest of that.
Yeah.
Did they find farts funny yet?
Oh God, I can't wait. I cannot wait for that.
Not really.
Okay.
Not a little bit, but not like if he's like doing something else, so you want to acknowledge it, but not yet. We're getting there.
I get a little bit of the Merritt will rip ass.
Will she really?
Really?
Oh, I love it.
Oh my gosh.
Poor girl, that's hilarious.
And she go, "Daddy, I farted." Like, yeah, you did.
Yeah.
And Daddy's impressed.
Yeah.
She's like proud of herself.
Good
That's awesome.
for you, because that is a gnarly.
Yeah, I love that she's a girl. She does that.
Yeah.
That's great.
Well, unfortunately, Elsie, whether she gets a sibling or not, is going to be raised around me, and so that poor child is going to have a handicap from a like giant child for a dad anyway. So inevitably, we're going to find farts funny as all hell, and Mom's just not going to like either of us for a while because all we're going to do is fart and laugh about it.
Well, they're objectively funny.
I don't disagree with your assessment.
Like if you don't find farts funny,
then something's wrong with you.
Something's wrong with you.
Yeah, I agree. That's hilarious. But I do think that it would be fun to see. I will be interested to see how Elsie reacts to. I cuss like a sailor, and my wife is worse. So whether it's like somebody cutting me off in traffic and I hear shit coming from the back seat or whatever it is, it's inevitable that that's coming. I got cut off driving Elsie home from daycare today, and I said, "Oh shit," and I like kind of locked up the brake a little bit, and Elsie didn't say "ah shit," but she like made some noise back at me, and I'm like, "Oh no!"
Yeah, she heard that.
We just got dangerously close to baby's first cuss word. It's like really excited about that.
Soak it all in, man.
God,
it's scary.
Yeah. I laid on the horn because somebody cut me off the other day with Merritt in the car, and she said, "Daddy, why'd you do that?" And I was like, "Well, it's kind of like when you say stop. I don't like that." That's what the horn means.
It's okay. That's actually pretty good.
Stop. I don't like that.
Stop. I don't like that. That's.
And then I also had to explain because then, of course, like the next day, I passed somebody I recognized, so I gave him a little 1-2 on the horn. Daddy, why'd you say stop? I don't like that. Well, actually,
depends on how hard you press the horn.
2 beeps are good.
2 beeps is hello.
Yeah. Depends on how hard I do it and whether or not I throw this one finger out the window.
Yeah.
But you don't ever do that. Please don't ever do that. What about DC? You got a dad joke this week? Did you think of any?
A dad joke.
We got to do dad jokes. We got to have tantrum of the week. We got to have the dad hack, and we got to have the dad joke. Do you have one, Cam? Do you have one that you like?
I've been working on it, but it's under construction.
Have you guys ever?
That's the appropriate amount of laughter.
Yeah. Jesus, that went so far over my head. That was a jet stream.
I love that me and you had the same reaction.
We both went.
Dang it. Come on, Cam.
Oh, shit.
That was a good one. Okay.
Wow. I'm so ashamed at my lack of recognition for that.
See, hey, that's why he's the grizzled vet.
Yeah, exactly.
Right
he's
there.
like he's the seasoned veteran.
We're going to take down that New Balance.
Yeah. We don't deserve that anymore. What about the 90s Corvette? That's pretty dad, right?
I feel like we're really missing a stud finder up here.
Oh, that's such a good idea.
I think the stud finder is really
add it to the
level.
list.
Yes.
Stud finder goes on the wall. That's really good.
Yeah.
So have you guys ever smelled a mothball? Like you get really gotten in there and smelled a mothball before?
First question, why?
Well, I haven't either. I'm just asking. I've never been able to get the little legs far enough apart to smell. See,
I got that one. That
one's a little more overt and a little less like intelligent.
Dad or pervert?
Yeah, well,
Right.
You know what?
What's the difference?
My dad joke from last week was, do you know where's the what was it? Why does the chicken always wear pants? Or why does the chicken never wear pants? Because his pecker's on his face. Again, I don't know if these are dad jokes or they're just like slightly dirty and therefore I think they're funny. What qualifies as a dad joke, Cameron? What's the definition? Can it be dirty or does it need to be like just so cringeworthy that what makes it a dad joke?
Man, I feel like it's got to be a pun. If it's not a pun,
I can
don't
get
think
behind
it counts,
that. Sure,
right?
sure. It's
like
got to be
in some
punny
way.
for sure. Yeah, it's got to have a pun to it.
And that might be the only requirement. I mean, well, I guess to officially be a dad joke, you have to be willing to say it in front of your children.
And I think that's probably fair too, because I wouldn't be so. Then then neither of the jokes that I've told thus far are dad jokes.
Wow,
because I definitely don't want Elsie telling
that's still going over her
ever.
head right now. So
I guess that's fair. I guess that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but I am like,
that's why you're the baby dad.
Yeah.
I'm still learning, guys.
Yeah,
I
it's okay.
still.
You'll get there. You'll
Yeah,
get there.
all right,
But
whatever.
Yeah,
Freaking
yeah. I mean, I think
seasoned vets.
the cornier the better. I mean, it has to be just super outrageous. No, that's a good point though. You got to say it in front of your kids. I hadn't thought of that. I like that. I'm not a big dad joke guy, I guess.
I don't know why. It's not like you're a very serious person or anything.
I'm more of like the dad sayings, Like,
Okay, what do you got?
Like the
strapping something down and then slapping it and saying that's not going anywhere.
It's not going nowhere. Dad, I'm hungry. Hi, hungry. I'm dad.
Yep.
I feel like whenever my kid talks to me or my wife talks to me, I'm probably more worse about it when Allie talks to me. I can just rattle those off like no other. And it's so fun.
Because we don't have time to think. We just go back to like default idiot comment mode. It's like I don't want to think. I don't have time to think. I
firmly believe every male's humor just like cut off in the 7th grade.
I can get behind that.
Like if never fully developed beyond 7th grade.
Story of my life. I can absolutely get behind that. Yeah, certainly. I totally get behind that. I'm into that.
As a big fan of Tom Segura and Bert Kreischer, I think that analogy applies aggressively.
Yeah. So that's something that Cameron and I share. I talked about some of the podcasts that I like last week, and one of my favorites is Two Bears, One Cave, which is Bert and Tom's podcast, which is still the best name for a podcast ever. Two Bears, One Cave is hysterical.
Well, just shitting on your own podcast. Nice.
Well, full disclosure, we wanted to name this one Total Dad Move, and then we had
for a while. Yeah.
Well, it's not taken, but we were reminded by a friend, "Are you concerned about trademark laws?" And we're like, no, why would I be concerned about that? Total Frat Move still exists. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's probably a good idea. And he like referred us to an entertainment attorney, and it's like, nah, never mind. We're just going to change the name.
Yeah, do you guys remember Total? I mean, that was a great website when it first started.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Back when we were in school.
Well, and
Classic.
Cameron and I were in college, and you were probably there at the same time when it was just a Twitter feed or like a...
So when I first found it, it was a website.
Well, but what I mean to say is they had
pre-Twitter.
like a Twitter.
Wow. Yeah.
They had like a Twitter feed, and you could send them tweets, and they would retweet them as like, and you had to end it with Total Frat Move TFM or whatever. And my claim to fame in college was that I got one of them on their Twitter feed.
Nice.
And it was
That's
was
so
like
Bryant,
my
too.
greatest.
That was not surprised by that at all.
That was my greatest accomplishment.
Yeah.
For several years in college, is that I had been published by Total Frat Move.
Published author.
Yeah, published author. Bryant Young got 140 characters put on by a Twitter account for a bunch of dumb frat boys. Well, fellas, I think we're getting pretty close to the end. Is there anything that we did not talk about that you want to talk about, DC?
Yeah. I know when we were talking before the show, kind of about everything. I know, Cameron, I think this might be like a proud dad moment for you, not really like a dad hack or anything like that, but. You said you just love it when your kids say, I think you said chomp chomp.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Can you expand on that a little bit?
Yeah. So I got my Florida hat on.
Speaking of Total Frat Move, give us the Barstool spread there.
It's a Barstool shirt.
Saturday for the dads. Like
you get a copyright law.
Yeah, exactly. So good. He's into
ruin
it.
their YouTube by wearing somebody else's brand here.
How many name brands have we dropped on this episode?
Yeah. So let's see. We've already.
Can we get some sponsorship dollars here?
Supercuts.
Yeah, you might not be able to put this on YouTube.
Let's also go ahead and say Werther's suck. So we'll never get Werther's to sponsor us. Werther's originals are terrible.
Man.
Sorry, go on. Tell us about the Chomp Chomp thing.
A better idea might be rep brands you actually want to sponsor.
Yeah.
Peter
Budweiser.
Budweiser. Callaway.
Mother's Brewing Company, 4x4 Brewing Company.
You mean coffee sponsors?
Coffee sponsors.
Yeah, coffee sponsors.
Sponsor us for coffee, please. What about tell us about your kids and the Florida Gator stuff?
Yeah, as a Gator grad, I don't actually with my oldest, I do remember actually like aggressively trying to teach her to Gator chomp. If you don't know how to Gator chomp, it's right over left, nice little big loud clap.
Left.
Oh, you actually have to get the right hand.
Oh, it's right over left.
Realize that
I didn't realize.
Oh, we will judge you harshly. Yeah.
I didn't realize it was serious business like this. This is good.
It's a technique.
patron saint Tim Tebow has declared it. So therefore, yeah.
Did you get him to? So is Merritt into it then? Is she? Will she do the
Merritt
chomp?
got into it, and she'll do the chomp chomp. She'll give me a go Gators every now and a while, and every now and again. But
yeah.
So Miles, the 1.5-year-old, I don't remember teaching him to do this.
He's just the chosen one.
But he's the chosen one.
He is the chosen one.
So one day he walks up, he's like chomp chomp, and just does the. Like,
what? Do that again. What? Do that again. Do that again.
Oh yeah. And now, like, if you say the word Gators in front of him, he goes chomp chomp.
Oh, that's the
now
greatest thing
like
ever.
awesome.
That's the greatest thing
he
ever.
knows if he needs to get my attention and get all my love and affection, he'll just go chomp chomp real fast.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
He's using
Yeah.
your fandom against you.
Yeah, I might be raising a serial killer or a genius. I'm not really sure which.
Hey, you know what? Maybe he's a politician. Maybe he just knows how to win friends and influence people, or whatever that book's called.
Yeah, but yeah, chomp chomp.
Oh, I love it.
That's hilarious.
I want Elsie to call the hogs, and like we watched. I sat her.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but it's a
Especially for
little
a
kid
kid,
going,
like-
oh, like
Yeah.
it's not that hard to do
Yeah,
that.
well,
part
Merritt,
of
the
it.
3-year-old, will do the arms, and Miles, like, we've actually been practicing the whoop pig on him,
Good.
the hog call.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause my wife went to Arkansas, so we'll give him the credit there. But
So half your house is right.
so
That's
we
really what it
tried
comes down to.
we try to teach him the arm call, and it's a harder thing to move. Like chomp chomp, it's quick, it's easy.
I guess that's true. That's a good point.
Yeah.
I bought Elsie like one Hogs like little cheerleader onesie type thing, and she wore that, and I watched a couple of games with her, and go figure, she wasn't super interested in watching football when she was a year old.
No, really.
I just don't know why, but she had zero interest in watching the Hogs play this last season. So
The boys, big Panther basketball fans.
I was gonna
there,
say, do the Panthers
see-
have? What's the Panther?
The Panthers
growl.
well, guys, I don't know if you know this, but Drury Panthers have been like undefeated in football since like 1932.
Oh my God!
I think it is.
Whatever. That's
They might
the
not.
dumbest
They
joke.
might not have had football for like 90 years.
Yeah,
but-
exactly. Because
And
He
Adam-
said he
that's
didn't
good.
like dad jokes.
Yeah, exactly. Listen to him.
Yeah,
Listen to
yeah.
him.
See, like it just rolls out. But no, I'm not a big like college. Or I don't have a big college team that I really root for. But Chiefs, love KC Chiefs, right?
Sure.
And so kind of like what you were saying, I don't really remember teaching Liam this, but like whenever the Chiefs would come on, and he sees the Chiefs logo, he goes, "Go Chiefs!" And like he gets a deep
Love
voice, like as a little kid, and that is
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
hilarious.
Oh,
So,
I love doing it,
so
yeah.
like we'll be driving around, he'll see somebody have a Chiefs sticker on their back window or whatever, and he's like, "Dad, go Chiefs!" And I'm like, "Yeah, buddy."
Yeah, buddy.
Hilarious part. Allie was in Target the other day with the boys, and some dude had a Chiefs shirt on, and she's strolling through there with the cart, and Liam sees the Chiefs shirt, and he goes, "Go Chiefs!" And the guy, don't know the guy, obviously. The guy's like, "Yeah, buddy." And Allie's like, again, just as embarrassed as could be.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
just
sure.
Turns, 3 sheets of red, and
Go Chiefs! I want my fucks.
Where's my fucks?
and that's the best. The best is like when we watch Chiefs games, because it's like all these helmets have Chiefs logos. The field has Chiefs logos, so you see every different helmet that he sees.
Is it just near
He's
constant?
like, "Go Chiefs, go Chiefs, go Chiefs," and I'm like, "Yeah, buddy." So,
God, that's so
I'm like,
good.
what? Like the first time they did that, I think was actually last season. So he's like, 1.5 of the time, and he said, "Go Chiefs." I was like, man, I'm doing at least something right as a
Yeah,
dad.
yeah.
right? I was pretty pumped about that.
Good. Well, I'm excited for you to have sports fans in your household. I'm not sure I will ever get that. We'll find
you
out.
never know. You never know.
We'll find out. I mean, Else
Yeah.
inevitably is going to be way better of an athlete than I ever was.
That's not
Shut
much.
up.
That's not much of
yeah.
an accomplishment.
Don't start. Whatever.
Just put them on tees there, and
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the first thing I bought her were those little Fisher Price golf clubs.
Mm-hmm.
She technically
She's
the
already
first.
better.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Yeah.
she's already
I thought
better
so.
at golf than me.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't even here yet, and she had a crib and a set of Fisher Price golf clubs.
And a better
Those were the
handicap.
things that were shut up.
She's
Those
swung
were,
them 0 times.
and I have been working on it in the living room. We have been working on it where I'll set the ball down and she'll hit it, and it was the greatest accomplishment for me as like a poorly golfing dad. Don't start. But yeah, Super D. Yeah, I am the Super D. So, fellas, this is fun. I love doing this.
It's a
We
great-
really
great
enjoy
episode.
doing this stuff. Cameron,
This
we
has been fun. Thanks for
appreciate
having me.
we appreciate you being here, man. What do you think about, like, what is something that if you have people that might want to come on, do you think you would recommend us to our friends to come hang out with us and drink coffee with us for an hour? Really, we just want you to tell us how great this was and how much fun you had, so we can just lie to us. Just tell us that you had a lot of fun.
I did have a good time.
Okay, good. That's all we like to hear. Whether
coffee helps.
Whether we believe you or not. Yeah, that's great.
Listen, most people don't turn down free coffee.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's true. It's a true point. So, folks.
Or a chance to brag about their kids, I should say, too.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Everybody likes to talk about their kids.
Yeah.
Like, it's everybody's greatest joy. Like, I can't imagine why you wouldn't want to talk about that.
No, it might be my favorite thing to talk about.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah. I mean, forget sports, forget any of my hobbies. Elsie's the coolest thing I've ever done. So, like, I'm way into that. So,
absolutely.
Folks, friends of ours, if you want to do this, please give us a shout because we want to have our friends on. We're having a good time doing this.
They'll pay you $1 to come on.
We will pay you a single $1, and we might also buy you some coffee.
$1.
Cameron amended our contract that we do, our podcast release. Now it just says $1 on there for compensation. It's really great. We're excited about it. So do all the likes, shares, subscribes. Check us out on all the social media channels as we get all that stuff set up. At some point, we'll get that figured out. We don't really.
You got to learn where to point, right? And
yeah. It's like and
click here
to subscribe.
That's
and
right. Yeah.
So
we're only on episode.
I guess the best dad joke
there.
would be to click here.
Yeah, exactly. Click right
if
here.
you can find it.
Yeah, if you can find it, it's right there. Yeah, really great. See, it's really nice to have with friends like these guys. Who needs friends?
That's right.
Hey, nice job, Decent Dads.
Awesome.
Way to go.
Great job.
Thanks, boys.
Dads.
Halfway
Alrighty.
decent. There you go.
We'll see y'all next time.
Appreciate it,
Thanks.
Thanks, boys.
Plus, we had too much faffing around at the beginning anyway.
Yeah. Man, we're nice and tight in here with 3 people.
It is a little tighter than I want it to be, but you know what? It is what it is. So
That's what she said.
that's exactly